Am I still in your heart? Yeah, I know that's a dangerous question to ask at this hour, because if the answer is no, then the silence gets loud. And if the answer is yes, it changes the temperature in the room. I'm sitting here with the lights low, letting the world do what it always does: spin, shout, perform. That constant noise, like a radio stuck between stations. And I keep thinking how strange it is that the world can be so crowded and still feel completely empty. I guess that's why I'm talking to you like this, not to impress you, not to recruit you into some shiny idea of love, not to sell you hope with a ribbon on it, just to be honest. Because the truth is, I've been staring at the way people move through life lately, and it feels like programming. Same smiles, same lines, same games. Everybody acting like they're fine. Everybody pretending they don't need anyone. And then there's you. You don't even have to try to be real. You just are. And I don't know if this makes sense, but that's the real reason I'm drawn to a woman like you. Not because you're loud. Not because you sparkle for strangers. Not because you make the room clap. It's because you carry something rare in you, a kind of quiet truth that doesn't beg to be believed. A lot of people confuse volume with value. They think the loudest thing in the room is the truest thing. But you and I both know that's an illusion. The loudest things are usually the weakest. They need attention to survive. You don't. You've lived long enough to know what's real and what's just noise. You've been disappointed, and you didn't turn cruel. You've been tired, and you didn't turn cold. You've been overlooked, and somehow you didn't disappear inside yourself. That's not small. That's not nothing. That's a woman who learned to hold her own heart carefully, even when the world treated it like an inconvenience. Let me say this gently. I'm not here to save you. I don't even like that word. It makes love sound like a performance. Like one person is the hero and the other is the problem. No, that's more programming. What I feel is quieter than that. I feel like when you walk into a room, you don't bring a show. You bring a signal, something clean, something true, something that makes the chaos inside other people pause for a second. And if you're anything like me, you've noticed how rare it is to be with someone who doesn't require you to pretend. You know what I want? Not excitement. I want a sanctuary, a place where you don't have to be on, where you don't have to prove you're still worth choosing, where your years don't get measured like a price tag. I think some of your beauty is the kind the world can't even recognize because it isn't built for the algorithm. It isn't built for strangers. It's the beauty of someone who stayed soft in a hard place. The beauty of someone who got broken a little and still chose tenderness anyway. And I'm sitting here realizing that's what I'm drawn to, not the mask, not the highlight reel, not the version of you that performs for approval, the real you, the you that exists when the phone is face down, when nobody's watching, when the night is quiet enough that you can finally hear your own thoughts again. Can I tell you something? If the world has ever made you feel replaceable, like you're only valuable when you're convenient, I want you to hear this slowly. That was never truth. That was just the noise trying to train you, and maybe, just maybe, the reason you're still here, still feeling, still hoping in small ways, is because something in you refuses to become an illusion. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful you didn't disappear. So answer me if you want. You don't have to. Just let it land. Am I still in your heart? I keep thinking about the way the world talks to you. Not out loud, not directly. It's subtler than that. It's in the commercials, in the little jokes people make at dinner, In the way a camera accidentally lingers on youth like it's the only proof a woman ever existed, it's programming, and I hate how it slips into a good woman's mind and starts whispering things that aren't true. You're past your prime. You missed your chance. You're lucky if anyone stays. Yeah, that's not truth. That's the noise trying to make you smaller so you're easier to manage. Because a woman who knows she's real, a woman who knows her worth without asking permission, she's dangerous to the illusion. And you've probably felt it. That moment when someone looks through you instead of at you. That moment when you hear a compliment that isn't a compliment. Really, it's a measurement. Like your value is a number that goes down each birthday. I don't know, maybe this is too honest, but I can see how that would exhaust you. Not the years, the disrespect, the way the world tries to make you feel like you're competing with time itself. Like love is a game where the rules were written by people who never had to bleed for tenderness. But listen, the people who worship youth don't actually love youth. They love control. They love the idea of a person who's easier to shape, easier to impress, easier to leave. That's the part nobody says out loud. And I think you already know it because you've lived long enough to watch patterns repeat. Different faces, same behavior, different promises, same outcome. That's why when I say I'm drawn to a woman like you, I'm not saying it the way the world says things. I'm not romanticizing your pain. I'm not turning you into a symbol. I recognize the signal in you. You've been through enough to stop believing in shiny words. You've learned to hear what people mean by what they do. You can sense when affection is real and when it's just a performance trying to get something from you. That kind of discernment, that kind of quiet intelligence, it scares the wrong people and it attracts the right ones. Because the right kind of love doesn't need you to pretend you're 25. It needs you to be you, the real you, the woman who knows how to sit in a room and make it calmer without even speaking, the woman who can carry grief like a folded letter in her pocket, not to show it to anyone, just because it's part of her life. That's not baggage. That's history. That's proof you've loved. And you know what's funny? People will chase new things like that's the Holy Grail. New clothes, new faces, new relationships, new versions of themselves. But new is easy. Real is hard. Real means staying when the shine wears off. Real means looking at a person's tiredness and not using it as an excuse to vanish. Real means you don't punish someone for needing care. And I feel like you've always been the one who gave that kind of love. The steady kind, the kind that shows up, the kind that remembers what someone takes in their coffee. But I wonder who has done that for you? Who has looked at you and thought, I don't want to consume her. I want to protect her peace. Because that's what a sanctuary is. It's not roses and speeches. It's not grand gestures posted for strangers to clap at. It's quiet loyalty. It's someone who doesn't make you feel like you're too much when you finally tell the truth. It's someone who doesn't call your needs drama. It's someone who doesn't disappear when your life gets heavy. And if you've been with people who only love the easy version of you, I'm sorry. I'm not saying that like I'm above them. I'm saying it like a man who's also been hurt by illusions. Because I've seen what the noise does to good hearts. It trains people to treat love like an app. Swipe, replace, upgrade. As if humans were products. As if you, with your years, your softness, your depth, were something that could be traded in. No, you can't replace someone who's real. You can distract yourself, sure. You can chase a different face, but you can't replicate the way a real woman feels when she's present. You can't copy the way she listens. You can't duplicate the comfort of her being in the room when the world falls apart. That's why the illusion hates you, because you're proof that the loud world is lying. And I just want to ask you softly, have you been living like you're replaceable? Not because you believe it, but because you got tired of fighting the noise every day? It's okay if the answer is yes. I'm not disappointed in you. I want to sit with you in the silence for a second until your nervous system remembers something it forgot. You are not on clearance. You are not past due. You are not a leftover story. You're a whole woman. And the right kind of love doesn't run from that. It leans closer. Sometimes after I say something like that, I get quiet. Not because I ran out of words, but because I'm listening to what your body does when you hear it. Because I know this about you. You've learned to smile while you're bleeding. You've learned to nod, to keep things moving, to be fine so nobody gets uncomfortable. That's another kind of programming, isn't it? Be pleasant, be low maintenance, be grateful for scraps. And if you're honest about the ache, they label you difficult. So you got good at carrying it alone. God, that kind of loneliness doesn't look dramatic from the outside. It looks like competence. It looks like she's strong, but I've met that kind of strong. It's the kind where you're still standing, but you're tired in places nobody sees. And I think that's why I'm careful with you, because your heart isn't fragile. It's just been handled wrong. You know what breaks a person the most? It's not one big event. It's the small, repeated message that you don't matter as much as everyone else. It's being the one who remembers birthdays and then realizing nobody remembered yours. It's being the one who checks in and then noticing your phone is quiet when you finally stop reaching. It's giving someone your softness and watching them treat it like it was free. That's how people get broken, not shattered, just worn down. And I don't want to talk about you like you're a tragedy. You're not, but I do want to honor the truth. Because if nobody ever says that hurt you, the pain turns into a private religion and you start worshiping your own silence, thinking it's safety. But silence isn't always safety. Sometimes silence is just the place you hide your needs so you don't get abandoned. And I hate that you ever had to do that. I'm not saying I know your story. I'm not going to pretend I can read every chapter. I recognize the energy of someone who's been strong for too long. And I want to offer you something different. Not advice, not a pep talk, just a different kind of moment. A sanctuary moment where you can exhale and not be punished for it. Where you can admit quietly to yourself, I wanted more love than I received. That sentence alone, it can make a woman feel guilty, like she's asking for too much, like she's ungrateful. But listen to me gently. Wanting to be cared for isn't selfish. Wanting to be chosen consistently isn't needy. Wanting someone to stay when you're not performing, that's not a flaw. That's a human heart asking for something real. And I know the world will try to make you feel ashamed for having a heart. That's the illusion at work. It trains people to call tenderness weak, then it punishes them for being cold. It's cruel like that. I don't want to be part of that system. I'd rather be the kind of man who can sit across from you and not rush you past your truth. Even if your truth comes out messy, even if your voice shakes, even if you don't know how to explain it without apologizing. You don't have to apologize with me. Can I say something with a little reverence? I don't pretend to understand what God is doing with anyone's life. I'm not that guy, but I do feel grateful for the quiet ways you were carried, the nights you thought you wouldn't make it through, and somehow you did. The mornings you got up with a heavy chest and still made coffee, still paid the bills, still called someone back. That's not nothing. That's grace showing up in ordinary clothes. And if no one has told you this lately, you didn't survive all that just to become invisible. You didn't keep your softness just so someone could take it for granted. You're not here to be tolerated. You're here to be loved with attention, with patience, with respect. And I know those words are easy to say, so let me make it quieter, more real. If I were sitting with you right now, I wouldn't try to fix your life in one conversation. I'd probably just look at you for a second and say, I'm here, take your time, because that's what the noise never gives you. Time, space, permission, and maybe that's the first place love actually starts. Not with fireworks, with someone staying long enough for your nervous system to believe it's safe again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I know what you mean too. That moment when your chest tightens a little, not because the words are wrong, but because they're right and you're not used to being met there. Most people don't meet you there. They meet you on the surface. They see the version of you that can handle things, the version that shows up, the version that keeps the peace, but they don't always notice what it costs you to be that steady. And I think that's part of why I'm drawn to you, because I'm tired of the surface. I'm tired of conversations that feel like a script. Two people trading lines they learned from the world. Two people smiling at each other while their hearts stay locked. That's programming too. Say the right thing. Don't be too honest. Don't be too deep. Keep it light. But you don't feel light. You feel real. And I don't say that as a compliment you're supposed to accept politely. I say it like a man recognizing water after being thirsty for a long time. There's something about you I can't quite put into words. It's the way you don't need to perform your goodness. You don't announce it. You don't use it as currency. You just live it. And that's rare because the world rewards performance. The world rewards the people who can sell an image, a smile that means nothing, a promise that evaporates under pressure. It's so much noise that people start mistaking it for love. But love isn't loud. Love is the person who stays when the room gets quiet. Love is the person who doesn't panic when you stop entertaining them. Love is the person who can sit in silence with you and not reach for an escape. So when I say I'm drawn to a woman like you, I'm saying I'm drawn to the way you've learned the difference between attention and care. Attention is cheap. It's easy to manufacture. It floods in fast and it leaves fast. Care is slower. Care is someone noticing the small change in your voice. Someone remembering you don't like the overhead lights too bright. Someone asking, did you eat today, and meaning it. I think you've spent a lot of your life being the caretaker, and maybe nobody ever called it that. Maybe they just assumed you'd always be there because you were, but being the strong one, it can become its own kind of trap. People start believing you don't need anything, and after a while, you start believing it too. Not because it's true, because it's safer. If you don't need anything, you can't be disappointed. If you don't ask for anything, nobody can say no. If you keep your needs quiet, nobody can use them against you. I get it. That's how you protect yourself in a loud world. But let me say this gently. You deserve a love that doesn't require you to armor up. You deserve a love that doesn't treat your tenderness like a weakness to exploit, or a mess to clean up, or a problem to solve quickly so the conversation can move on. You deserve a love that can hold your truth without flinching. And I'm telling you this because I can't pretend I don't see you. Not the edited version, not the I'm fine version. I see the woman who has had to rebuild herself quietly. The woman who has learned how to carry disappointment without becoming bitter. The woman who still has softness left, which honestly feels like a miracle. That's why the illusion doesn't understand you. because the illusion thinks survival means becoming hard. But you survived and stayed human. That's